do a hand clap for Miss Lady Mary. She has finally found her voice and spoke up and had enough power to stand up for herself. Emma. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am Melinda J, and I'm here to do another review of the episode 5, season 2 of Bridgerton on Netflix. So sit tight and go ahead and listen up, and let's take something from this episode. Okay, let's get right to it. All right, so this episode's name is called The Unthinkable Fate. Okay, so we just left off on Miss Edwina Sharma getting proposed to by the Viscount himself, Anthony Bridgerton. Okay, and of course the Queen is pleased. So now they're at the Queen's palace and they're conversing on where the nuptial should be. And of course, Anthony is like, I would like to have it at Abbey Hall in the country, secluded, probably a family affair type of thing. And the Queen was like, oh, no. She is my diamond. So I will be in charge of the nuptials. It will be held at my grounds, okay? I'll be in charge of anything and everything, from the arrangements to the food that we eat, okay? And who can say no to a queen? Nobody, okay? So, of course, everyone agreed to it. And I believe this is the second, this is the second wedding that the Queen tried to, tried to hold or tried to host in her grounds. Is kind of giving a repeated cycle of the Queen trying to extend her gratitude, and all of a sudden things change because people are proposing to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Because last season, Daphne, she was supposed to be married to the prince, her son, and that didn't work out well because of the scandal that happened in the gardens of the Viscount, her brother, Anthony, catching her and the Duke of Hastings kissing in a tree. Okay, so I'm like, oh wow. After this episode, I'm like, I don't think the Queen should be hosting any nuptials until people are dead set on marrying the individual. So yeah. And then also and then in this scene, Kate, she still is a little shaken up by what has transpired between her and Anthony, as well as the state of what's about to what's about to come to light when it comes to the inheritance scheme that is set in stone. But and of course nobody knows except for her and Lady Danbury. Only I think Anthony got a snippet of it, meaning that when Edwina marries him, then she'll be going back to India, but he doesn't know the extent to what is happening behind the scenes. But in this episode it's gonna come to light. All right, so of course, along with this episode, Benedict starts his first day of the Royal Arts School. How exciting! Yes. However, it has been mentioned that the school has been founded by 2 women. However, even though the school was founded by 2 women, women are not able to study art in the classroom fully clothed. They have to either be a model, or I forgot what the model has told Benedict, but definitely either you had to be a model or something else. So in order for her to study art, because that's her passion, she is a model. So even though she models naked, not clothed, because that's what was done back then, when it comes to art. That she learns the craft through her being a model, okay, basically. Even though she is not able to be fully clothed in the classroom to learn the lectures and stuff, she uses her modeling gig in disguise to learn the lessons. And I was like, that's smart right there. That's a smart gal. Benedict, you better date her, okay? She's pretty smart. She found a loophole in the midst of that. And then also, yes, when it comes to these nuptials that are happening, that are taking place with all the flower arrangements, the food, the catering, all that sorts of things, Kate is still feeling some type of way, because in the back of her mind, she knows it's the right and the wrong thing to do. It's the right thing to do when it comes to restore, in her mind, and with the deal that she made with the grandparents, that Edwina will have to marry someone notable and rich to be able to restore the family legacy and stuff like that. And it's wrong in another aspect because of the fact that she has feelings for him, but she's trying to save face. And that is not good, Kate, sweetheart, ma'am, that is not good. Okay, that's the feeling that Miss Duchess of Hastings, Daphne, was talking about when it came to explain that to her brother. But overall, she's still a little triggered about everything that has transpired between her and the Viscount in the garden when she got stung by the bee, and then her having to give Edwina off to him, knowing that he's still searching for an amicable person, and she's the perfect person for it. But however, she doesn't challenge him good enough to keep him on his toes. He's just wanting her for the vanity in her eyes. He just wants her for the vanity, and of course she'll be able to fulfill the wifely duties and the household, but not as so the person that will also love him and challenge him at the same time. Of course, Miss Edwina, she will love the person. She will love him hands down, but she does not challenge him like Kate does. Okay, you get my drill. All right. So, of course, along with this episode, Lady Danbury, she has, if you see me looking away, I'm looking at my notes, okay? But Lady Danbury, she received a letter in the mail, a notice in the mail, letting everyone know that the Sheffields, the grandparents, aka the grandparents. So when I say the Sheffields, I mean the grandparents. So the Sheffields have arrived, and they arrived the evening of Edwina getting proposed to. So I'm like, dang, the communication is just strong. It's very strong. They didn't. I'm trying to figure out. Well, they probably got a newspaper being notified that the Viscount has proposed to Edwina, and they was like, okay, it's time to get up, pack your bags, it's time to go, because now everything is working as planned. Because as I stated before in previous videos, that Edwina cannot get the inheritance because she is the blood grandchild of the Sheffield clan. If she is not able to, if Kate is not able to do the job, what is supposed to be done when it comes to gaining the inheritance, when it comes to Edwina gaining the inheritance, everything, all bets are off. So, yes, Lady Danbury, Danbury, she had notified everybody that the Sheffields have arrived and that she has invited them to the dinner, amongst her, the Bridgertons, and the Sharmas. The Sharmas meaning Lady Mary, which is the mother, Kate, the eldest daughter, and Edwina, the youngest child that had got proposed to. Okay, so of course, everyone is a little shaken up, especially Kate and Lady Mary. And Lady Mary is like, okay, I got a like headache. I'm gonna have to miss out on dinner and stuff like that, because Miss Lady Mary, she has went through a lot, and she has sacrificed a lot. She has sacrificed continuing on with the legacy and the reputation of the Sheffields, which is her maiden name, and fell in love with someone who is not with status. So she definitely is like not feeling it at all. And yeah, I really feel sorry for Lady Mary in that regards. And let's see. Along in this episode, Eloise is still on the quest to unmask Lady Whistledown, and also by extending her horizons by going to the town Bloomsbury or Bloomsburg, where she meets this guy Theo Sharp, and he's like I guess you could call him a paper boy to a certain extent, because he does work with the news press for Lady Whistledown and other news press that releases the actual newspaper. And of course, while she is while them two are introducing each other, she has also expressed an interest on how on the political side, and also on her worldly side as well, about how women doesn't the society standards, they need to change, because she doesn't want to live the life that her sisters and her brothers are destined to do as a privileged lady. She wants to be able to be a privileged lady, live her life, be content. Basically what Kate is doing, being content and not married and so forth and so on. She wants to broaden her horizons, as well as challenge others in every aspect. So yeah, this is where we get introduced to Mr. Theo Sharp. So just stay on the lookout whenever I continue reviewing these videos, and as you continue watching this series, because he plays a slight pivotal part in the last couple of scenes, or last couple of episodes to be exact. But yes, also this is when next on the scene during this episode, the Bridgertons, like the Viscount and his newly fiance, which is Edwina. She is the Viscountess in waiting, as well as Lady Danbury and Kate. They take a stroll on the promenade, because after Lady Danbury had mentioned that she invited Mary's parents to the dinner, Miss Mary, she stayed back for a minute, and so she can gather herself and prepare herself for this dinner party. So they take a stroll on the promenade, and of course, Lady D, I'm gonna say Lady D is Lady Danbury. Okay. She warns Kate that, hey, I don't know what's going on between you and the Viscount, because I'm pretty sure she's getting a whiff of the dynamics between Kate and the Viscount. But she's warning Kate ahead of time, because she has not told Edwina what is really going on when it comes to this inheritance scheme. But she warned her with this question: are you the fool in regards to ruining somebody else's marriage because if she does do that, it will stain the family name again to the point that it's going to be really hard to restore. So she gave her warning question like, are you going to be that fool, Kate? Are you really? And Kate was like, no, not at all. I'm doing whatever is necessary to get this transaction done. Okay. And that's when Miss Danbury was like, okay, let's go. Let's move forward. And then, of course, during the promenade scene, that's when Lord Dorset, he comes back again. And of course, he made his introduction again. He apologized for what transpired at the royal races and asked Miss Kate for a stroll in one of those boat things. I thought those boats were beautiful. I'm like, dang, I would love to be in those little boats. However, I'm like, okay, how deep is the water? That's what I want. I want to know how high is the water? How deep is the water? Then maybe I'll get on the boat. But otherwise, I love those little boats in the little canopy for the lady to sit underneath. I was like, wow. I bet you those were very good times. Okay. But yeah, that was going on in that scene. And then lastly, to wrap up the episode is the dinner party with the Bridgertons, the Sheffields, and the Sharmas, as well as Lady D herself. And of course, when it came to this particular dinner, emotions run very high. And with this dinner, not all the Bridgerton kids, from my understanding, were at this dinner. It was basically between Lady D, Miss Mary, Miss Lady Mary Sharma, Edwina Sharma, Kate Sharma, the Sheffield grandparents, as well as Lady Bridgerton, Daphne, the Duchess of Hastings, as well as the Viscount Anthony himself. I believe those were the only people in that dinner party, and the rest of the Bridgerton kids were sound asleep or just doing whatever they wanted to do in their rooms. But the emotions during this dinner party and this last scene, they ran really high. And you know what? I have to do a hand clap for Miss Lady Mary. She has finally found her voice and spoke up and had enough power to stand up for herself in regards to this inheritance scheme that partially came into fruition at this dinner party. Of course, Miss Edwina, she still doesn't know again about the feelings that Kate and the Viscount have for each other, deep down inside. They keep trying to brush it off for the sake of the nuptials and stuff, but you can definitely tell the fire and desire between both of them. But this is when the inheritance scheme has came into fruition about and this is because the grandfather was like, well, we made an agreement that we was going to pay for Edwina's dowry and everything whenever she marries a notable wealthy man, English man to be exact, because that was the deal that we made. And also on top of that, if she doesn't, then she will not get any of the inheritance. And once everybody has gotten aware of it, and Edwina, even though the scheme has came up, she still is like, I'm still going to marry the Viscount whether there's a scheme or not. But again, she still doesn't know. Bless her heart. Oh my gosh. But of course, the Bridgertons, they're quite disgusted, especially the lady. She's quite disgusted on what has transpired. And then the grandfather, he's acting disrespectful towards Lady Mary, because he was like, if it wasn't for you marrying that clergyman, that common person, that peasant, and they talking about Kate's father, biological father now, even though her and Edwina share the same dad, but the grandfather, he was being very disrespectful. He was like, if you hadn't married that man, maybe the Sheffield name would still be notable to this day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And I'm so glad of Anthony stepping in saying, okay, enough is enough. Y'all are not invited anymore. And you can take you and your inheritance money and your scheme and go right back where you came from. Go right back to India. And I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that was tough. And of course, like I said, everyone, especially the Bridgertons, Daphne, the Viscount Anthony, as well as Lady Bridgerton, they all feel disgusted. And of course, the show must go on. Now that everybody knows that needs to know, of course, you can't. There's no stopping now. We have to keep going. The show must go on. So yeah, that concludes that episode there of the infamous, the unthinkable fate of what happened at that dinner party, of the inheritance scheme finally coming out into fruition. However, there's still some more digging to do in regards to what Edwina will find out within the next couple of episodes. And I think it'll be the next episode to be exact. Okay, so, oh yeah, before I conclude this video, the teachable moment coming from episode 5 is everything what is done in the dark will come to light. Okay, everything what is done in the dark will come to light. And of course, accepting things for what it is. And well, no, that's not even the teacher. That's for next episode. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, so the teachable moment for this episode, to be exact, is don't be a fool when it comes to certain situations happening, especially when someone is getting married to somebody else. Don't be a fool and rain on people's parade, because you are setting your pride and ego to the side to, gain something in the end. Because, well, I can say this in this video too, what is done in the dark will come to light. Okay, so that is all that I have for this episode. I hope you all like this video. Comment down below what you think. Comment down below on what parts that interested you in this episode as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. All right, and until next time. Oh, did I? Of course, follow me on all social media platforms. It'll be in the end screen and possibly in the description below. And until next time, stay tuned, because episode 6 will be coming for you. All right, bye everyone.